What's going on, guys? Welcome back to BlackTideTV, another Infinite Warfare beta video for you today. In today's video, we're talking about the best LMG setup as requested by Mr. Ignat, and I'm also going to be pseudo answering the Ninja Ray 21's topic request of what my favorite gun and combat rig combo and least favorite gun combat rig combo in the game are so far. So I first want to talk about the LMGs just in general. The LMGs in this game are actually very good. A lot of games, the LMGs sort of get shafted. There's always sort of one good LMG and then the rest of them are kind of crap. Usually there's not as many LMGs as there are assault rifles or SMGs, and that's the same in this case, or at least in the beta's case. There was only 3 LMGs and one of them was locked in the beta. I'm hoping that they're going to add more, but I'm not sure. Like, the whole thing with the beta is people are trying to figure out if it's the full content that we had access to that we could actually see in the menus, or if it was just part of the content and they're actually going to be adding extra weapons on top of that, because it does even seem strange. Like, take for example the assault rifles. There was only 5 assault rifles in the list, which does not make any sense at all. Usually there's like 6 or 7 assault rifles at launch. There was only like 5 assault rifles, 4 or 5 SMGs, there was only 3 LMGs, so there's a lot of, like, I shouldn't say there's a lot, there's very few weapons in this game this year as far as the beta is concerned. So maybe they're going to be adding more LMGs, but for the most part, for the beta at least, there was 3 LMGs, one of them was locked that we couldn't use. I did get to use it a couple times in gun game, but I can definitely say that the LMGs are very powerful this year. They're actually doing some good. They're putting out a lot of damage, and they're firing pretty fast. They're very accurate. They're actually really awesome. For the most part in Call of Duty Past, you usually get LMGs that either have a really high fire rate and then they're really hard to control, or they don't do any damage. Or you have like really high powerful LMGs like the Gorgon, for example, that fires very, very slowly and is basically useless unless you get your shots on target, but it does do a considerable amount of damage. In this game, the LMGs actually seem to be balanced pretty well, and you can use any of the LMGs and do well in this game. I found the Mauler to be pretty good. I think the Epic variant of that, if they keep it the same, is going to be completely overpowered. If you didn't know the Epic Mauler, I can't really remember what it's called, but it changes the look of the Mauler so that it actually looks like a cannon, and it does double damage and double range are basically the traits of the Mauler. Pretty insane. It's definitely going to be one of the better variants in this game, so it could be very, very powerful. It could be very good. The Mauler itself is very accurate. It's very hipfire accurate. It's a very powerful weapon. It's got very nice iron sights too. It's honestly, from the description, I thought it was going to be something more like the chainsaw from Ghost, where you had to hipfire it all the time, but you can aim down the sights, and the sights are really nice. They're really easy to use. But my favorite LMG of the 2 that we did get to use in the beta is the R.A.W, or the R.A.W, that you're seeing in this gameplay. This is my first 50 bomb gameplay from the beta, or my only 50 bomb gameplay using the R.A.W, or the R.A.W. I'm just going to call it the R.A.W from now on. And the EMC Akimbo pistols, Akimbo auto sear pistols, so they're fully automatic and akimbo. Now let's talk about my favorite class setup for the R.A.W. Well, actually, you know what? Let's just go ahead and kind of describe the R.A.W a little bit first. The R.A.W is like your overall good at everything LMG. It's an energy LMG. It actually has wall penetration though. I've found myself shooting through walls and getting hit markers with this thing a lot. For some reason, I thought energy weapons weren't supposed to shoot through walls, but I don't know. This one, I've got like wall bangs with this thing before, so it's got some kind of wall penetration. It's very powerful. It's heavy hitting. It kills people in like 3 or 4 shots at close or medium range. When you get out to long range, it's still only like 4 or 5 shots. It's pretty powerful. It's got some good damage over range. I like to use the R.A.W Benediction. That's the legendary variant, as long as they don't change it before the game comes out. It's like every 3 kills you get a new perk, up until you get like 5 perks or something like that. It's pretty insane. You can just completely load out your perk system with this thing, and it's really awesome. It's one of my favorites. It's one of my favorite weapons in the entire game, let alone LMGs. This is definitely one of my favorite guns in all of the beta, like completely. It is really, really powerful, and it's so easy to use. It's very accurate. It's very heavy hitting. It's got that damage over range, and it's even got nice iron sights. I'm actually using it with I can't even remember, the Trojan, I think it's called, the Trojan sight in this gameplay, just because it is a little bit clearer. The iron sights are a little bit closed in, but you can definitely use them still. They're still very easy to use. There's no problem with the iron sights. I was trying out all the different things, and I happened to have the Trojan on when I got this gameplay. But it is a very cool weapon. I like all of the LMGs. They have great attachments, anything. My personal favorite way to use this LMG, or to use any of the LMGs, is with quick draw grip. Of course, you're going to want quick draw grip on your LMGs, because LMGs, being LMGs, are heavy, and they're going to be slow, and they're hard to raise up and down. Quick draw grip is just going to make it a little bit quicker so that you can raise your LMG faster when you come out of sprinting and you get into a gunfight. You can instantly just pull up your LMG and start firing. It makes it a lot easier to use this thing when you're in a closer range engagement. Normally, I'd like to kind of stay back with my LMGs like you see in this gameplay, kind of shoot from window to window. That's really what LMGs are made for. They're not supposed to be frontline weapons. You're supposed to use them as like counter snipers, stick to the back of the map, and just hose people at a long distance, maybe pinpoint like a position that enemies are trying to come out of, and just kind of like stop them from coming out of that one area just by spraying ammo all over them, which is awesome. Where this LMG comes in really handy. It is an energy LMG, and putting on fusion mag will let you regenerate ammo with this thing, which is just ridiculously overpowered. Actually, I think it was the rare version of this thing had some kind of weird ammo replenishment kind of trait. It was really good as well. And also the epic variant of this thing, of the R.A.W, I believe it gives you like double ammo or something like that, but you can't reload. I don't know, it's very strange, it's very weird. But it is a very, very cool weapon, no matter what variant you're using, and it's very easy to use, very easy to like bottleneck a certain spawn. And that's what I like to use it as. I like to use the quick draw grip just in case I have to run into a closer range engagement for whatever reason. I might happen to be moving around, maybe moving from one position to another, and I'll run into an enemy out of nowhere. I will have to pull up my LMG really, really quickly, and that's why I like to have quick draw on for. I usually like to put on some kind of increasing power thing to my LMG, like the what are they called in this game? Anyways, like the long barrel and the high caliber. I can't remember what they're called in this game. High caliber is Faraday slug. Long barrel is particle amplifier or something like that. But I like to put on those kind of attachments onto my LMGs to make them do even a little bit more damage. With the Faraday slug, you're going to be doing a lot of headshot damage. You're going to drop people in like 2 or 3 headshots easily. It's very, very powerful on this LMG, on any of the LMGs. It's really great to increase your damage on an already high damage weapon. And of course, the particle amplifier, it helps you out in engagements like this from shooting window to window, because it increases the damage over range. That's really good as well. I like to just camp it out with my LMGs, so particle amplifier, making it so that I can shoot from window to window, is really great. Fusion mag I use on this one just because it's an energy LMG, and it's awesome to always have regenerating ammo and never have to worry about reloading an LMG, because reloading LMGs, who wants to do that? It takes so long to reload an LMG, so you might as well put on your fusion mag and just have it regenerate for you. Or even with the energy weapon itself, it automatically regenerates ammo for you. It takes it from your stockpile and puts it into your clip. So as long as you're using an energy LMG, which I believe this is the only one in the game, you never really have to worry about reloading your LMG unless you completely fire at a whole bunch of people all at once. So that's really awesome to never have to worry about reloading and getting into that slow reload animation, which will get you killed. I like to use the pistols as my secondary weapon. I did mention how I like to have my quick draw grip, so at the last second I can pull up the weapon just in case I get into a close range gunfight. But an even better tactic than that is to use your dual wield automatic EMC secondaries and just run around. Those things are so overpowered. All of the pistols in this game, you can get auto sear and akimbo on them. They're the last 2 attachments that you unlock. Auto sear makes your weapon fully automatic, and akimbo, obviously you use 2 weapons at once. And any of the pistols in this game, you put that attachment combination on there, and they are unstoppable. The Kendo 44 was a pistol that you got to use. I believe it was one of the default classes, and it had the auto sear and it had the akimbo, and it was really, really powerful. I saw a lot of people using that default class. I found the EMCs to be even a little bit better. I think the EMCs do a little bit more damage to begin with, so putting the auto sear and fully automatic, or auto sear and akimbo on those is just ridiculously, incredibly, really good. You gotta try it. When you get this game, just rank up one pistol, pick a pistol, one of the semi-automatic pistols. You don't want to use the Oni because it's already fully automatic and it already has lower damage because of that. The semi-automatics have higher damage, so you're going to want to use a semi-automatic pistol, put on akimbo and auto sear, and go to town. It's so much fun. You're going to kick so much ass. As far as perks go, I didn't really find a lot of the perks that useful in this game, so recommending perks for my LMGs, I mean, if you're using a ballistic LMG, definitely dexterity because it's going to let you reload faster, but with the raw, you don't really need it because it's automatically reloading for you. You don't have to worry about reloading faster. I would still probably put dexterity on. It seems like a crutch perk in this game. It seems like a perk I'm going to be using on all my classes anyways, just because it's going to allow you to switch weapons faster as well, so you can switch to those dual wield EMCs on a dime, and you don't have to worry about aiming down sights with your quick draw at all unless you're really stretched for time. But for the most part, if with dexterity you can just whip out your pistols really quickly, and that's awesome. So I use dexterity on my LMGs. I'm using cold-blooded because I'm at longer ranges, and snipers might have thermal and whatever, and they might get me, they might see me before I see them because of their thermal sights. And I don't know what my third perk is. I think it's like, I'm trying to think of what it was. I think it was like the marksman or something like that it's called, where it reduces your flinch. It's mostly a sniper rifle perk. It reduces the flinch that you get when you're using a sniper rifle. You don't flinch as much, so you can get your shots on. But it does have a small benefit. It does work with all of your other weapons, just not as well as it does on sniper rifles. I'm going to be using that on every single one of my classes. It's an unstoppable perk. Like, to reduce flinch when you're shot at is amazing. It's just like the toughness perk all over again. One of the greatest perks of CoD history. You're definitely going to want to use marksman on almost all of your classes. When the full game comes out, I will be using dead silence as well. Dead silence is one of those perks that it's just god tier. It's got dead silence and blast suppressor from Black Ops 3 built into it, so it's going to silence your footsteps. It's going to silence your booster pack. Dead silence is going to be a crutch and a half. I'm going to probably permanently unlock it if there are permanent unlock tokens. It will be my first prestige permanent unlock because it seems like it's going to be a really high level perk that you're going to have to unlock, rather than the dead silence or the blast suppressor that we've been getting over the last couple years that unlocks at level 2. This seems like it's going to unlock at a really high level, so I'm going to be permanently unlocking that thing for sure. That is it for my recommended LMG loadout slash favorite kind of weapons from this game. Definitely let me know how you run your LMGs in the comment section down below. Let me know of any other topics you'd like me to cover in the comment section down below of the beta content before the game comes out this Friday. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. End screen coming up. Click on either of those videos to watch any of those videos, and click on the big BlackTideTV emblem in the middle to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one.